know this is pretty late news, but I just wanted to talk about the iPhone 16 real quick, which, again, another piece of tech I personally don't plan on getting. But I figured why not just talk about the news that, well, this is kind of going to be a two-parter because I'm going to make one video that's going to focus on why the iPhone 16 apparently isn't selling so well. But before that, I wanted to talk about what we were expecting from it and what was promoted before its release in the first place. The iPhone 16, it's arrived, but the main thing that was supposed to drive it forward was the implementation of AI, just like everything else. Everything is supposed to be all about AI these days, driving multiple different industries and markets, but essentially just the overall tech realm, right? The tech universe. The very thing that was supposed to separate the iPhone 16 and potentially push Apple as a brand, especially with its phones, because the phones are the main devices that people look forward to. You know, with AI, it's not there. The iPhone 16 does not have the artificial intelligence features that it was promoted to have, at least upon its release. And it's becoming a problem, or it was an immediate problem, like people noticed it right away. So it's kind of playing to that same thing where I made that video talking about the PS5 Pro and how it's really not big of a difference or an upgrade from the base Model 5, where now the only reason I'm going to get the base Model 5 at some point is literally to play the newer games and stuff. Star Wars, Black Myth Wukong, the new Tekken game, Ghost of Tsushima. There are some other things too. I might get into Elden Ring. I know you can get that on PS4, but I'll probably get into it when I get the 5. But, you know, all these different things, the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, it'd be the only reason why I'm going to finally get the thing. And I just don't see a reason to get the PS5 Pro, even though it's going to be out next month, November. I have to double check the date again, but I think it's like November 7th or 17th, one of the two. This is kind of in the same realm, where the previous generations of iPhones, again, I have the 13 Pro Max, and I just don't see a reason to get the iPhone 16, including the Pro Max. Basically, it's just not that big of an upgrade as people were hoping for. I wasn't hype about it in the first place. Apple already is releasing too many upgrades or new phones every year to the point where it's like, I just didn't care. It's just not that big of a difference. So it's in that same realm of there's no point of getting it unless I have to. And the only thing that I don't think would sway me personally, but the only thing that for people who maybe were thinking about getting it or are thinking about getting it, but they don't see a reason, but the one thing that would tip the scale for them to get the phone would be the AI, is the one thing that's missing. Apple explained that the artificial intelligence tools were delayed due to the complexity of their development. They're having a hard time developing those features. I know things happen just in life, in business, whatnot. You promise things, you push certain things forward. You know, this isn't going to put Apple in the coffin by no stretch of the imagination. If anything, other news should have kind of made more of a major dent in their brand, and it's just not going to happen. So, you know, they'll bounce back from this when the AI features roll out, when they work properly and everything should be fine. But I don't know. It's just, if you were having such a difficult time developing and implementing the features that were supposed to take the iPhone, if not Apple at large, into a different direction, then it makes me wonder why you were promoting it in the first place. So, you know, only they would know that for internal reasons. It just throws me into that headspace of like, well, we just didn't need to know that this was going to be a thing. Or at the very least, you didn't have to frame it as if by the time it was going to come out, it would have been completely done and good to go. And now we don't have anything. We don't even have, you know, the typical Apple initial release. They deliver on the features and specs, but it's not working the smoothest. So now in the next coming few months, they'll release updates and patches that will improve the performance of their devices, and then everything's good from there. Like, we're not even getting that. Like, you guys fell so far behind that we didn't even get the AI features that were meant to separate the iPhone 16 from its predecessors in the first place. And that's not a good look. But again, it's not going to put Apple in a pine box, so it's not an issue. But we'll just leave that video off here. I want to make a very quick one, and I'm really, really trying to make it a point to shorten the length of my videos, which means less ranting on my part and just nerding out, but also just, you know, trying to stay concise with the information that I put in here and throw out. So we're going to leave it there, guys. What are your thoughts on the situation? If you care to talk about it at all, share that with me in the comment section below, as well as any feedback or suggestions. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.